What's up? This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and Dope Living TV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Tretch in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
That's a mess. Boy, quit shaking your head, Marcella. What's up? It's your boy Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. The views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. Having said that, man, we kind of talked about this yesterday about still supporting your kids after they've grown up. All right. And we talked about some of the good things about it. Me as a father, I know that I support my kid until it's over. Okay, but what about supporting a kid that just don't want to do right at all? You know, a kid that's just a loser, period. I hate to call kids losers, but call it what it is, all right? Gina, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
It's all good. Happy anniversary to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I mean, you know, that's kind of something that people don't ever talk about, really. All right.
Yeah, you can't call kids losers, even though they may be losers. We don't want to call them losers.
We don't want to call them losers. What's going on, Marcella?
Hey, Marcy.
Hey, everyone. I do not believe in calling your children, even if they're adults, losers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally against that. And I'm like you, Greg. Until it's over. I'm backing my kids. I will talk with them. Well, of course, everyone knows my son is no longer with us, but my two grandchildren, I have their back. I raised them and my son. There are consequences to your actions.
Mm-hmm.
I got you. I'm going to support you, but you can't keep making the same mistakes.
There it is, that but.
Mm-hmm. You can't keep making the same mistakes. We're going to have to do something different. If you keep doing the same thing over, you can't expect a different outcome.
Right.
Absolutely, man. So that's what we're talking about today. Like I said yesterday, Mo and I were womanless yesterday, all right? But the ladies were there in spirit.
So we know that was one-sided, Marcy.
Of course.
Not necessarily. Now we kind of kept it broad because we knew you guys would be back today so that we could, still discuss that as Marcy just did. We got to tell both sides of it though. You got kids that get out and they move out, and for some reason or another they want to come back, but what they've been doing out there that forced them to have to come back. Now sometimes it's not as bad as it seems, just life in general, but sometimes it's stuff that they did anyway. And they say, well, hey, look, I did this, I did that. Maybe they just get out of jail. Maybe they just get out of trouble. Maybe they, whatever. And they want to come back home. All right. And then when they're home, they sitting around the house playing video games. They're not taking garbage out. They're not mowing. They're not doing anything. All right. And that's the thing. When you let your grown child move back in, how does that make you feel? How does that, what can we do to help them to say, or for me, and let's just start the conversation. I think we got to lead by example. Look, we said as soon as they come back, it's cool. You're my child, come on back. but there's some rules you got to follow. And these are my rules.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. What do y'all think?
Yeah, but you know what? It has to be more than that. It has to be, what's the plan? How long is it going to take for you to get on your feet? And what's the plan? You can't just come in and just be like, well, let's just see what happens. You have to have a plan, and we have to have a time frame. Okay, this is only going to be for 6 months or a year, or whatever the case may be. But there has to be a plan in place.
But Gina, you say it's only going to be 6 months. Is this not okay? 6 months come to pass, and they're still not ready.
But if they're working towards it, sometimes, there are glitches. There's some setbacks. For me, if I had said, we said, first of all, it's going to be that conversation. Okay. So what caused you to do this? What are we going to do now? And then how Gina said, so let's say it's a 6-month plan. And that 6 months come up there. Sometimes things happen, but do I see progress? Are you genuinely working towards doing better? Now, for me, if you're on drugs, or if you are out there shooting up or gangbanging or something like that,
led to a fatal stabbing this morning in Brooklyn. It happened.
Okay.
Well, fatal stabbing in Brooklyn.
And if it was something like that, then that was my child. Okay. But I don't want you bringing the streets to my home either. Right. So there's definitely a conversation. There's going to definitely be some changes. And if it's something real crazy like that, then we're going to have to maybe figure out a way for you to regroup somewhere, like drugs. Like if you might need to go to rehab or alcohol or something of that nature first, so that we can make some changes. But there's going to have to be some changes. And then if it could be something like a layoff from work. And you might be a single parent or something like that. But as long as I see this progress, I'm good.
Yeah, and I think every parent would say they would give their child an opportunity. If this is the first time, is this the 5th time? Is this the 20th time?
Ooh.
That's all going to come into consideration. If you came the first 5 times and we ended up throwing you out on your face because you wouldn't do anything, then I don't know if it's going to be a 6th time or a 7th time. So all that has to be considered. Even though, we're parents, we're not gonna let our kids fall by the wayside.
Yeah. Okay. And are you respecting the household?
So, and that's important. So you brought up a couple of good points, Marcy, and I want to touch on those. But last night we were talking about when a child goes to, gets through high school, you have that talk and tell them, okay, when you're 18, you got to get out. I'm proud of you for graduating high school, but when you're 18, you got to get out of my house. All right. Does that put unnecessary force or tension on the child, on the young adult? I'll call them. Stop calling them children, because at that point they are young adults. To get out there and do something. And when you tell them that, do they go out and get the first thing so that they can get out? You know what I mean? So, and that. Explain.
I had that conversation with all three of my children went out at the age of 18. All 3 of them. And it was something that I guess I must have embedded in their head, because when my youngest signed up for the military at the age of 17, and he left a day after his birthday, I asked him why, and he said, because you always told us when we got 18, we had to get out the house.
Well, you didn't have to have a conversation with him there, right?
I was like, yeah, but I didn't mean that, But they all did well though. They never came back home. They never had to come back home. They all, went their way. My daughter, she went off to college. She graduated from college. She came back home for about a year. She didn't feel comfortable being at home. She would come and tell me, I just don't like staying in my mother's house.
Right.
And so, she picked up, she moved to Vegas, so they all left at 18, but they all did well. If they hadn't done well, I would have still helped them. And I'm going to tell you, I didn't just throw them out. I made sure they were ready to leave.
Yeah.
My middle son moved to Atlanta. He was there for 2 years. I paid his first 3 months rent, and I bought him a car. So I knew he had transportation and he had a roof over his head.
Okay, but there aren't
So
many.
I set it up where they could be successful.
There aren't many, and shout out to Vet Green with the morning show with the Joker and Miss Arkansas.
Hello.
And it's reciprocated, Vet Green. You guys have one of my favorite shows. So I'm saying, Gina, like you, and and I know how Marcy is with the way that she teaches and encourages. There's not many like you though. So when some people, parents, when they say 18, they mean 18, and then they close the book. You know, what's up, Mo?
Hey,
Mama.
What's happening, family?
Mo,
and so what happened?
You got headsets like mine?
No, you got headset like mine. No, this is standard. See, it's cool.
Okay, mine are cordless.
Oh, yeah, because you're rich. But so it's she got the Janet Jackson. So you see what I'm saying, though? And again, Mo and I talked about this yesterday too. At that age, does it make them set, or do we push them to unrealistic goals? You know,
I don't think so. I think if you're going to have those standards, you need to prepare them.
Yes,
that's the thing. Preparation is important, not just, hey, you're 18, get out. Then what are they going to do? And I gave my children, I gave them, like I said, I paid my son's first 3 months rent. He had a car. I wanted to make sure he had transportation down in Atlanta while he was there. My daughter went all the way, thousands of miles away, all the way to Vegas. I went down there when she first moved down there. That's my only daughter. That's my only girl. So I had to make sure she was straight. I went down there, I furnished her whole apartment.
So is that really getting them ready? They have furniture. He has a car. And what? And the 3 months rent. Is that truly preparing them? When I hear prepare, I'm thinking of knowing how to budget. Things that's prepared to me.
That too. That's too. I mean, when my children, my oldest two were 15 and 16, we went through this. I took them through this finance. I called it a game. They thought it was a game, but it was really showing them how to manage finances. So what I did, I gave them the amount of my paycheck, and each one of them had to budget throughout the month. We did this for like 3 months. They had to budget throughout the month. And at the end of the 3 months, whoever had the most money in the bank, I actually gave them $150. And so that was teaching them how to manage money, because they thought I was rich, y'all. They thought I was rich. They thought I had a whole bunch of money, but I wanted them to see I don't have a lot of money. I just know how to handle the money that I have.
Well, yesterday, Gina, I said, with the exception of Gina Davis, with the exception of Gina, this applies to everybody but Gina, because I know she's like, you're not staying here, Negro. But you know what? I'm not gonna send you out. I'm not gonna send you out there with your booty hanging out. So I know you prepped them.
Here's a question though, and Gina, I'm not picking on you, but Marcy brought up another good point. Damn, I'm agreeing with Marcy.
You love me.
That's okay. That's okay.
When you gave them that 3 months written, that's a Band-Aid. You know what I'm saying? That's just a Band-Aid.
No, it gave them a head start. It gave them a head start, because I said after that 3 months, you better make sure you keep that roof over your head, and he did.
Well,
that's you. That's yours. But what if they don't? You know what I'm saying? So you give another 3 months. I'm not saying you didn't. I mean, I'm saying it worked for you, but I'm saying in that situation, do you give them another 3 months, or you give them another 2 months?
No. But you know what, bro? They have to learn how to make it on their own. I had to learn how to make it on my own.
We all had to learn to make it on our own.
Right. So they have to figure things out. If you keep putting a Band-Aid and keep helping and keep doing, they will never learn how to do it themselves. Okay, rent is due. If I keep paying that rent, what's the incentive for him to get up and go get a job?
Does it have to be at the age of 18 though?
Yeah, well, he was 18. He was 18. He had graduated from high school.
Right. Gina, I know this. If they knew you was gonna kick the crutch off and under them. They wasn't about to wait till you kicked no crutch off and under them. You know what I'm saying? So they already knew what the biz was. And see, that's the difference. As you was raising them kids,
That's the difference.
they knew what you expected, period. They already knew. So if you already told them, hey, this is them 3 months and that's it, they knew that was it. They wasn't no more coming back with no more.
Right, because you have some parents that'll tell you that, but they know the kids might know. Yeah,
And you know what,
saying
Marcy?
that, but
I had a friend like that. Her son was still home at the age of 26, and she came to me and she said, "How did you get your kids out the house?"
Preparation.
She could not figure out how to get her son to keep a job, to get his own place, to stay on his own. He was out the house for a little bit, then back at her house, out the house for a little bit. And I said, I got him ready before he graduated from high school. I gave him all the tools that they needed in order to survive.
That's
I
what
gave them those tools.
And you know, with me, with my granddaughter, she stayed here with me until she was 20. And they know they always will have a place. But when she was 20, she came to me the week before she moved out. Hey, babe. Oh, by the way, me and Cam, that was one of her high school's friends. We have an apartment. We're getting an apartment. I said, wait, what do you mean? Wait, what? And because she know how I am. I want to put both of them in one in each pocket and had it with me to know they're safe.
Yeah.
But she told me the week prior, and she said we've already put the security deposit. Blah 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 blah. And she's handling it. I was like, but wait a minute. Now my grandson just graduated the week before last. He doesn't want to go to college, but he is out there trying to get a job. I said, you don't want to wait a month or so just to, chill out your summer. And he was like, no. Now he's moved back in with his mom the last few weeks of high school. Excuse me. But he's out there. He's like, I want to have my own, and I want to have my own money. But they do know if anything comes up, they do have a place with me.
And
but they know, but they also know their rules and regulations. And it's not just
but advice.
There are rules and regulations.
Once they get to that maturity, you have, and that's the problem, bro, because you said, a lot of parents are saying that, but it doesn't happen. It's because they don't let them grow. They don't let them get the maturity that they need to get out at the age of 18. I had one girl that I worked with, one young lady that I worked with, that said that I was truly wrong for this is what she said, for putting my kids out at the age of 18. But she's like, why would you do that? She basically was telling me I was a terrible mother.
It depends on the parenting. It depends on the kids. How did you how you raise your children? Now, if you just raised and coddled your kids constantly, where they didn't know how to do anything on their own,
right?
Then I would say that's would be rough, because then they don't know how to budget. They're so used to you doing everything. They don't know how to do the laundry. They don't know how to clean the home, how to go out there and get a job and keep a job.
Well,
or go to school or whatever.
They didn't want to come back and live with me.
Right. The thing about that, a part of that is the social destruction, of our culture, and the parents not knowing how to do it. The parents got kicked out.
That's true.
And they got kicked out raw. I mean, you out there and you had a pizza job. Like I was telling Greg, yesterday, back in the day, you could have a Wendy's, a little McDonald's job, and keep a little apartment. You know what I mean? And be able to pay some bills with them little bitty jobs. You can't do that no more. So what happens is that the circle gets really tight, and guess what? In multi-generational homes.
So let me read a couple of these here. Byron says they really shouldn't be called children. They should be called exactly what they are: money-reducing agents. He says guidance is necessary for advancement in life. If a person has a child who needs constant support, then the parents need to look at their parenting skills. You can't take bad ingredients and make a good cake. Our friend Vet Green says, my 21-year-old is still at home. He's working, saving, and paying rent until he gets established.
And that's good.
That's the teaching part, like Gina was talking about. That's the grooming part. That's the the part where you're equipping, making them. That's the word. You're making sure that these young adults are ready to go out there instead of just.
And that's exact. She's doing it the right way. You want to make sure that they're established so they don't have to keep coming back and forth.
Exactly.
You know, and you should know your child. Some children are not ready to leave at 18,
Right.
not even 21. My sister stayed home with my mother. She didn't move out till she was 27. I was already out the house at 18. And I would call her up and say, when are you gonna move out of mama's house?
You know, my granddaughter told me after she moved out about a few months, she was like, oh, this adulting is, whew. You know, she said, you know, bills and all this. And I started laughing. And I'm like, hey,
That's
you know.
right.
And
They don't
I said,
know.
you wanted to move out. But she's doing it. She has come, you know, to borrow money here and there, but it's not a lot. You know, it's like for 2 days, you know, something like, and I don't have a problem with that. But she's doing it. She's cooking. And it's funny though. I did fuss because I'm like, girl, you didn't keep your room that clean over here. You take off your shoes as soon as can I get through your threshold of your door first so I can take my shoes off and you know, and just different little things. But she's learning as she goes as well, and she's doing really well.
That's what I was saying. We
But
do.
you know what? I have friends, and I've seen women and some of my friends who their children were struggling on their own, and they will not help them for no reason at all.
That would not.
They feel like you're grown. Whatever problems you face them. I had to face my problem, and I don't feel. Everybody needs help sometimes.
They call that tough love, and I don't believe in tough love.
I love my babies too much.
I like that.
You know?
I'm not gonna see my kids out on the street.
Nope, me either. And
I
really struggling.
And you know, you see, and the thing about it, a catalyst for that ought to be you see these people who will work for food, you know, and can you help me out? God bless you, and all that other stuff. You do not. The last nightmare you want to see is some crap like that.
Or your child on Skid Row somewhere sleeping.
That's Skid Row. But then again, you know, here these are pulling down 10 G's a day, so they don't care nothing about standing in this 9,000 degree sun burning up.
So Vet Green says that I'd rather my kids stay home and work school instead of moving out and getting all those bills. That part, just because you turn 18 doesn't make you responsible.
That's right. That's right. And that's why I said you should know your child.
Right.
Now,
and that's what I said. It just depends on the child and the parents and how they were raised. And you know, and I would think some parents, even if they believe in that 18 get out of my home, if they truly realize that their child or young adult is not ready, I would hope they wouldn't just push them out anyway.
But you know, Marcella, see, this is that 18 and get out of the house. That's what our parents told us. Okay,
Mine didn't.
And that was a different. Well, I'm just saying it was a different.
But I was out at 18.
It was a different time. We had a different mindset. We wanted to be out at 18. We wanted to.
Yes.
And we could make it out there because the times were different and things were more available to us.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, think about, well, not my graduating class, but prior to that, most of the graduates graduated from school where they go to the steel mill. They was paying lots and lots of money.
Then,
you know, so back then they had. You're right, bro. We had different opportunities, whereas now you don't have those opportunities that.
No,
these kids.
I can remember.
Go ahead, Mo. I'm sorry.
I can remember the worst thing.
I'm sorry, Mo.
I can remember the worst thing my dad ever did to me, and I thought it was the worst thing he ever did to me. I said, you know, I just got out of school. I said, Dad, Dad, I like the Chevelle. I like the Chevelle. I like the Chevelle. I just kept there, I kept there. I need a car. I need to get a car. He said, okay. Well, we went over to the lot and we saw the Chevelle. Mind you, my dad worked for Ford. So it was a double whammy. You want a Chevelle? Okay. I tell you what, I'm going to put the down payment on it. When the first payment come due, you better have a job.
And insurance.
I had a job. I had a job, paid that mug off.
And again, back in the day, things were available, and we had a different mindset because now it's the time where everybody wants to be a YouTube star, so they think they can get this, they think they can do that, and they can get that money that way.
Yeah. We got to stay home for that.
We did McDonald's. We went out and at 18, 17, 18, we went out and mowed lawns, shoveled snow. We did all of that stuff to put money in, okay?
You don't even see that anymore.
We were taught responsibility, right? Even though the kids are taught responsibility now, some of them, they still don't have the tools because it's a different world now. They don't have the tools. They don't. And go ahead, Mom. I'm sorry.
It's crazy expensive now. In comparison, you know, when we started getting those jobs, whatever little jobs we could get, like I said earlier, you could take care of some rent, some light bills, and some water bills. Now you try to take them same jobs that we used to do those same things on. There's no way. There's no way.
Matter of fact, it's you know, we used to charge them $10 or something like that to cut the grass. These kids knocking on your door talking about $25, $40. You go on, if I'm gonna trim it up, $40. You know what I'm saying?
That's not nothing.
I'm like, wow, dude, times have changed.
But this is one of the things that I did drill into my children growing up. Do find a trade that you can do with your hands, because you can always make money if you can do something with your hands. So my son went to barber school. He can cut hair. He you know, if you need quick money, start cutting hair.
Right.
My daughter crochets. She's been crocheting since the age of 15, and she's now selling her products. Right. My youngest went to the military, so they taught him a whole lot of stuff I could never have taught him.
I don't have nothing against kids going to the military, because first of all, it's a reality check like a mug. And they help you find your little way, you know, what you good at. They're going to put you in what you good at. They're just not going to throw you out there. They're going to say, you know, they're going to put you out and they're going to test you and do whatever the heck they need to do to find your niche. But you'll find your niche. Not to mention, you get out of that little circle that you're in and you get in another circle someplace else and create your own life. Versus, you know, versus what your parents said.
Green Links Media, Big Green says that's what my son did. Went to HVAC school to get a trade. Absolutely.
He's making money.
And people used to laugh at people. People used to laugh at people going to trade school, you know, as opposed to going to college. They used to say, "Oh, trade school, you can't afford college." Okay, but think about it. You went 4 years for college, and you got this bachelor's. There's nothing out there for you. Okay, but these trade schools teach you a job. They teach you how to make money right as soon as you get out.
And some of these schools have that in high school. Like out here, I was speaking to some teenagers, and I was asking them, I said, "What do you plan on doing when you get out of school?" "Oh, well, I'm geared to graduate from HVAC school." I'm like, "Aren't you in high school?" They were like, "Yeah."
Oh, yeah.
I was like, "Oh,
they have college classes now. They actually
and we're in the union already in the union.
College.
They were in the union and were guaranteed jobs once they got their diplomas from high school.
I'm gonna tell you guys this, and I said this yesterday. You know, I'm so glad that my son didn't listen to me and listen to his mom. I told my son, when you, Marcy already laughed because she already know this. You get out of school, you ain't got to work for nobody. You could. I got you. Bam, here goes some money. It's in your account. You ain't got to worry about nothing. And his mom told him, no. You got to learn how to navigate this world. And working is part of that. Working is part of that. So he said, because I told him, he said, you know, college, whatever, you know, take a year off, do what you got to do. My son says no. I'm so glad, even though his mom and I were not together, I'm glad that he listened to her, because it's taught him some skills that just having money and being able to do everything that you want to do would not have
working for it, right?
Not have taught him. So
because if something were to happen to you, and then your money, then what would he do?
Yeah,
you know, it's a possibility he can fall flat on his face because he's used to it just being there,
not knowing anything else. And I'll be the first one to admit I was wrong. Okay, seriously, because y'all know how I am about my son, but my daughter, and everybody says your daughter from a previous marriage, her daughter. I'm never going to call.
That's your baby. You don't have to explain. She's your baby.
Up in there, okay. Anyway, she went to the military, and she has 5 degrees.
Wow.
She has 5 degrees, and she's.
Uncle Sam is taking that. They're footing that bill for you.
She left home and lives in California. She's doing well, doing very well. Moved out there. She didn't know nobody out there. But once she got
like my daughter.
That's a good part.
She's young, and she's still in her 20s. All right, she's young. At 5 degrees. You know, I'm so proud of her. It's ridiculous. But you know, a lot of kids aren't doing that, and a lot of parents aren't encouraging that. Yeah. Yesterday we talked about how we should encourage and support the kids as they go out. But what if your kid is just never going to do right at all, but they come home, they come back to the house and they're trying to boss you around in your crib?
Wrong answer.
That's not gonna work.
in the particular situation that, and shout out to Mike Green from the Ville Radio. He sent this. He always watches the show. He sent this and said, "Hey, look at this. This would be a good topic for discussion. A man and his wife, they were married, and the wife let her 34-year-old daughter come back to the house. 34-year-old kid, I can't say daughter. 34-year-old kid come back to the house that was just
running amok.
Never do well. Okay, so he divorced her because she let that child back. Do you think that's a realistic way to handle that?
That's a hell of an extreme.
But you know what? We don't know all of the logistics to that story.
I was going to say that.
Because
I was going to say that.
You know, when you say loser, what is a loser? Is it someone who get a job and then purposely do things, you know, like don't show up, gone late, gone in intoxicated or something of that nature? Are they on drugs? Are they into crazy stuff like gambling a lot or things of that nature that's making her have to come in? Did he have that conversation? Did he and his wife had that conversation?
It must have been something because he divorced.
It's got to be.
It's got to be a lot more to it. That, like you said, that's extreme.
There's some.
It could be that maybe she was disrespecting him. Maybe things got a little touchy. You don't know what the circumstances are. Because I can't see him just wanting to divorce just because she moved back home.
Right. Mm-hmm. And when you say the disrespect, you have some that might come in. Well, I'm grown too. You can't tell me nothing what to do. Right. But like Gina and I said earlier, there's going to be here. There's rules and regulations to my household. Yeah. I expect peace in my household. You're not bringing somebody in sleeping up in my house. You're not going to be sitting here playing a video game all day. You're not going to come in here cursing at me or, just expecting me to just take up all of your slack and you're not doing anything to move forward in your life. So that sounds to me like there was a whole lot more to it. Or he just used that as an excuse because he wanted to leave anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like you said, there's some misnomers there. We don't know exactly what the circumstances are, but just seeing that title, suggests that the 34-year-old coming back, number one, mom and the 34-year-old teamed up basically, and the mom was not regulating anything that the 34-year-old did, and when the father did, maybe the mom was probably saying, "Okay, well, don't do that.
That's my baby."
Yeah, exactly.
That's my daughter. You don't tell her what to do, and she could do whatever. I got to feel there's more to it.
It's got to be.
Got to be more to it.
Yeah. So a lot more to it.
How to deal with your adult children moving back home. Let me read these suggestions, okay? And I don't know. I don't think they get the black kid, the black poll. You know what I'm saying? I think they just.
I was going to say, let me hear what you're saying, so we can figure out what community that is.
I know, right?
Like on what's that Family Feud? We know a lot of times. Oh, that's not us.
Right.
So Christmas says recognize that you're all adults now. Okay. Well,
that's a good point. That is a good point. You can't treat them like they're little kids anymore, but they still have to respect you and your household.
They have to respect you as well. This is your house. Okay.
Correct. That's what I said. You and your household.
Yeah, this isn't their house anymore. They moved out. They did all this stuff. So when they're coming back, it's your house. They're just visiting. Okay, basically support their career goals. I get that, but if again, these are grown people now. So career goals. You haven't figured out what your career is yet.
Right.
You
Right.
Or you have unrealistic idea of what you really want to do.
Mhm.
I want to be an architect, but I'm not going to college for that. I'm
Yeah,
gonna. I'm just gonna.
I'm drawing the puppy when they send it. Look in the comic books, okay?
Nah.
Draw Fluffy, okay? Send it in, and they say, "Nah, you're not an architect, okay? You just full of shit." That's all. Anyway, encourage activity.
Yeah, get out the house.
Where did you get that
Get out
from?
the house sometime. Do something.
This is on
Not our community.
To me, I'm gonna tell you, those responses sound like someone
from
who
20
went off
years
to
ago.
college and came back home. That's what it
Yep.
sounds like to
Yep.
me.
The
Sound
title,
like to me
the
too.
title of it is "How to Deal with Your Adult Children Moving Back Home."
That sound like that.
And what is that from? Like a magazine or something?
This
Or
is
poll?
online.
Who did the poll?
It doesn't say. This is just one of those. This is just a heading right there where you can see it.
That sound like that might be a student putting something up, you know.
The fourth one is promote financial well-being. I mean, that's the
some money.
That's the overall thing. Get yourself financially ready so you know, or sustain yourself. Look for signs that they're getting too comfortable. Okay, now we back.
Boom.
Okay.
Look for signs that they're getting too comfortable. Like I said, they kick back. They ain't washing no dishes. Because
video games.
You said it was your house. Okay, right? Yes. That you got one time to say that to me if you.
Come on now. Oh, I'm grown. I'm grown. Okay. Go ahead, grown.
Grown people go to work.
I'm gonna set you up a tent in the backyard, right? Okay.
with coyotes in my back.
The other one is the last one is lead by example.
That's the one.
But you already
Lead by example mean you're right. You got your own place.
I got
you
my
moving in with me, so I am leading by
and
example.
I'm paying bills, and I'm
yeah. Throw that in the trash, bro.
That's it.
But you know what? There's a huge difference in you know what we went through growing up and leaving home and what's happening now. A lot of older couples even are staying with their parents in order to save to buy a house.
Wow.
So they're staying with their parents so that they can get the down payment to move into their own home. Now, what do you think about that?
They're doing that, and they're also
but that's
elderly
a goal,
parents to take care of them as well.
That's a goal, though. I mean, that's a mean to an end. You know what I mean? If
Plan.
it's valid, if it's right, it's a plan. It's valid. It's something that's saying, okay, at X amount of time, I will have X amount of money, and I'm gone. That's telling me something.
But again, they're in the house, so they have to respect it. All right,
that's number one right there. You have to respect your parents, and you have to respect the household.
Yeah, we're gonna help you out. We're gonna help you out with a place to stay because you're working. We understand you're working, but you want to get something bigger. Your family's getting ready to expand. You and your wife, y'all can come home and this and that. Okay, we can't say.
Oh, you done brought a whole spouse too with them?
Well, I had mine. I had mine and my grandbaby.
That was one that came back with 2, 3, 4.
Oh yeah, with the kids too.
Don't be doing that. Don't be doing it. Don't be doing that in my house if I ain't doing it. Okay.
You jealous?
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying.
I ain't getting none. You ain't getting none.
And you get you banging out the walls, dressing up. Hey, man, get out here, man.
I had a friend like that, and he had me in tears. He was like, I'm trying to read my Bible, and all I hear is bumping on the walls, and my head must have been hitting the wall. And I'm like, I don't need to hear this. It was hilarious.
I'm telling you,
I said, you read your Bible and all that's going on.
You cannot look. This would be Dope Living After Dark. So let me stop right there. Let me cut it right now because you look, man. Ooh, that's bad. Okay, let's put it like that. That's bad. All right. Good morning, Pops. Come up the next morning. Good morning, Pops. Shut the hell up.
I can eat 4 eggs. Yeah.
And don't eat off of that spoon. I don't know where your mouth been.
Go take a shower.
So what's the next question we have?
I'm about a whole bunch of plastic spoons and forks, man.
Oh my
Anyway,
gosh.
we Marcy, we might as well kick it to the CEO moment. Now, this is the same one from yesterday, but I still think it's
appropriate.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just gonna take our quick break to listen to our CEO, Miss Rachel Gary.
Let's go,
CEO
Rachel.
of Life.
Hey there, CEOs. Stopping by real quick. When things don't go as planned, be prepared to still move forward. Remember, you're not going to always have everything in front of you to understand on what roadblocks are going to be in your way, but giving yourself the opportunity to have the resilience, the brilliance, and the integrity to stay the path and stay the course is what being a CEO is about. So make sure that you are clear in your action. You are empowered by your choices, and you have ownership of your direction. And that will allow you to continually be the CEO of my life. Until later, be up, out, and moving to the greatness that we all know lies within who? You, CEO.
Up, out, and moving.
Up, out, and moving. Okay, but that goes along with what we're saying, you know. Gotta be ready, gotta be prepared, man.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem, and I can only speak from my experience. I don't have a problem with helping my child, period. My children, I should say. They've been great. As long as they've done the things that I've asked them to do. My son graduated high school, graduated college, doing his thing. What more could I ask for? No outside babies. What more could I ask for? You know? Cool. Look, I'm gonna support you as long as I know that you're striving to do something. This Saturday, for example, Jordan has a huge show in I forgot where it was at, but I'm going. But he has a huge show.
Where you going, Greg?
I'm going. I don't know. I forgot where I'm going. I'll be there.
Figure it out when he gets there.
I'll call him later and son, I know it's Saturday, but where am I going? It's out of town somewhere, but it's a huge show for him, you know, because he's back, he's doing his thing. He did that on his own. Didn't want any help. He knows Dad knows everybody, but he said, Dad, I got to do this on my own. I want to make you proud of me. I said, son, just you doing anything right now, I'm proud of you. I'm gonna support him. People have said that I have coddled my son. I have. I am not gonna lie. I have. Okay, doing what I did for a living and making sure that we all do. We want to make sure that we give our kids, as Gina has said, the tools to get out there. But I guess I had some different set of tools. All right, and.
But look, even if you did coddle him, look at what he's doing. Dad, let me do this on my granddaughter tells me, you have to let me grow up. You have to let me. And I'm like, okay, because I want to be hands-on. But they do both know I'm there for them.
Yeah.
And you know, and that's good that they, you know, they're still trying to do on their own. And you're still there in case they need you. But and you have to back down and back away sometimes. And I'm having to learn that. We
can't give up on our young adults. We can't give up on them, okay? Because they have to get out here, and you see what the result of those that have been given up on. They're out there doing some terrible things, and
some of them are, yeah.
Some of them, yeah,
yeah. Some of them they don't. When you throw them out the boat, you know, they start swimming, and they're like, okay, I have no choice but to do what's right.
Exactly. Greenlinks Media, right? It's support. You want your kids to have better and be better than you. There's nothing wrong with that. I feel like as long as they are doing what they need to do as an adult, I got their back.
Yes,
absolutely,
exactly.
As long as you can see it.
No, but you have to think about why some women or even men end up with the wrong person or someone they really don't want to be with is because that's all they have. They don't have their parents they could fall back on, or they've shut the door in their face and said, you know, I'm not going to help you. So now they're out here and they're reaching out to the wrong people who they feel can help them. And they end up in
women say that. Yeah, I've heard women say that. I'm tired of having to pay the bills all by myself. I'm struggling. I want to be able to do other things. So I'm going to get out here and find me a husband.
So,
or a man saying he's going to go find a wife. So that way the bills are cut in half or whatever. And I don't have to struggle as much. And they end up with someone that's not really their true soulmate.
Mm-hmm.
So let me add this to that. Like I said earlier, examples and the parents having the same, better guidance. Usually, the parents that have the good guidance, that went to school, got on their own, like Gina Gaston Davis, like her, and Marcy, they do their things. And Greg, we were examples for our kids, and of course, we love our kids. We'll cuddle them, but we'll tell them firmly, hey. You gotta do your thing. If this is what you want to do, then this is what we're gonna do. And you gotta do it.
Yeah.
Again, you have good examples.
And Jenny made some good points that I think is what Gina just brought up another whole show. Okay, but at the end of the day, man, if you're letting your kids, your children, I mean, they're still our kids, so I can still call them that. You can still call them. Right? They came from us, but if you're letting
my baby forever,
you let them come back. Just have a plan. Both of you guys have to have a plan. Sit down, talk about it. Even if the plan doesn't happen when you guys say it is, reassess it once that time period that you guys have said. Reassess it. That child is that person, that young adult, has done all that they can, and you see that they're doing all that they can to get to a certain level. Just didn't make it. So I mean, this world right now is really hard and it's tough. So we got to support them. They got to support us. And when I say support us, support the fact that it's itching the hell out of the back of my neck that you back here, but.
Well, you know what? They never get too old for us to give them guidance. I'm always giving my children guidance, and
as long as they listen,
we've been through it. We have the knowledge. So if they come to me and ask me, "Hey, what should I do?" or "What would you suggest?" I'm going to give it to them.
Well, Gina, like I said, you never stop being a parent. I don't give a damn if you're 180 years old and your kid's 80.
That's right.
You never stop being a parent. And what people don't understand is this is the part they don't understand. They go kicking their kids out. Say, you grown now. I'm done with you. No, you're not. You're not done. You're not done until you're in the ground. You once the babies is on this planet, that's forever.
Just make sure when you extract them from your residence, they're not the ones putting you in the ground. Because some of these get that they that's how you gonna do me? Okay.
All right. Oh, Dad, you sick? I need to make a decision here at the hospital whether they gonna hold on to you or we're gonna work and do this or just let them go.
That's horrible.
Wait a minute. Now
let me check the will first. Let me check that insurance first. But at the end of the day, man,
you're in a nursing home.
We have to support. Yes. And do everything. We'll pray on it first, okay? But then after you pray on it, have that conversation with your kid and make it work. We want everybody to be successful. We want everybody to be happy. So let's just do our part with our kids. And if another kid or someone else that your kids know that need that advice, let's help them out as well. Not saying we got to help them out financially, all right, because that's not our child. But if they are coming around your house and, I told my sons, guys, the week before graduating, I said, you guys graduate, because they used to always come to the studio. You guys graduate next week. I'm so proud of all of you guys, but understand this. Life gonna hit y'all, man, for real. Right? What are you gonna do? I said, and I told them all, I kind of regret it. I told Maurice this yesterday. I told all of them, so y'all got to make decisions. I got him. Okay. So
that's so wrong, Greg. Y'all don't belong to me, but he does.
He's gonna be all right. I said, I got him, but y'all better talk and y'all better get it together. And sure enough, man, at that time, and I'll make this short because we got to get out of here. My son I made sure that he didn't go to college with the rest of the group that he came to high school with,
Yeah.
because I needed him to see different people, different cultures, a whole different atmosphere, right? But those people, some of those people that were in his group, they got babies all over the place. They're in jail. A couple of them are dead from being out in these streets. You know, none of them. And you know, if y'all watching, you know, I'm not saying anything bad about you guys, but none of them graduated college. They dropped out. All right, my son was the only one in that group of guys that finished college. You know why? Because they went to college together. They went to the same schools together. All right, even after high school. My son
And
wasn't
still
going
tried to do the same things that they did in high school.
My son was not going. I wasn't going to let him do that. All right. Shout out to all of those guys. Austin, to tell you, Austin Squad Daniels, he came on the show and he went to a different school than his people too. All right. But he still came back and reconnected and taught the people around him, the guys that he grew up with, how to be businessmen, how to give back to the community and things of that nature. We want successful people out here, but the bottom line is let's support. We got to support them. All right. If they're 34 years old and they come back home and your wife don't want you to say anything to them because they're trying, but they're really not trying, to kick their ass out. Get them out of there.
Boy. And you know what? And you need to really have a discussion with your spouse, because that right there, once you get married, you're supposed to be one unit. And if one of you are not feeling that, you need to figure something out.
I don't know if divorce was the way to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But like we said, there had to have been a whole lot more to it than that. Yeah. That was just the straw.
Let's get out of here, Mo.
Well, I'm going to tell you, family, love your kids. Love on them. And part of that love is showing them how to navigate this life. Because again, you're not going to be here forever. There ain't going to be that fallback or that emergency net. So you got to tell them, hey, you got to get out there and do your thing, because it ain't easy. It's easy now when you at home. But when you get out there on your own, it's going to be all on you, baby. You know? And I'm just saying, I told mine, I'm not going to be here forever. You know? Me and your mom not going to be here forever. So this is the reason why we, tell you these things that you need to do,
Exactly. Marcy?
I want to piggyback off what Mo is saying. Teach your children the tools and skills that they're going to need once they become adults. Definitely love your kids, support your kids. Like I said previously, talk to your spouse before allowing them to come in. Have rules and regulations. Don't just let them come in all willy-nilly and turn your whole household upside down. That's about it.
She said willy-nilly. Go ahead, Gina.
Hammer. Here's the hammer, y'all. This is the hammer. Arthur Gina Cassidy. Go ahead.
I just want to say this. This is really important. One size does not fit all.
Yes.
You have to know your child and know what's best for them. Yeah, some of them can get out there at 18 and make it. And then there's some who can't. You need to know your child and know what's best for them. What I did for my children does not necessarily mean that's the best way to do it with yours. So just know what is best for your own children.
It's a good guide, though.
We all have different situations, and we all choose to govern our lives differently. We choose to raise our kids differently, all right? But again, make the right choice. I'm so happy that from the time he was able to talk, and he'll be 30 in November, every single day. I don't care if he's mad at me. I don't care if he just want to just push me off a cliff. We can argue, we can hang up with each other, but my son will always call me back after an argument or during a conversation. And he'll say, "Dad, I love you." I get that every day. I've gotten that every day. "Dad, I love you." Okay? You know how good of a feeling that is? Oh my God, that's a good feeling. And I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. I understand, that I'm being taught as well, even up to right now, I'm being taught how to be a good parent. Yeah. All right. And if you can get that reaffirmation from your kid, then you're doing something right. Yeah. Period. Let's help our kids to become better people. Let's help them to be productive so that they can teach their kids the same thing. Okay. And the thing that was told to me when I was young was that, especially when I had a disagreement, okay, you know you're gonna get older and it's gonna come back twice on you.
Where's a mug?
We
I hope
all were told
I hope your
that.
kids just like you. I hope your kids just like
It is the truth.
No, they're going to be 3 times what you are.
It is the truth. It is the truth. Okay, so let's just take life again. Pray on everything that you do, and just let's just make the right choices for not only us but for our grown kids that need to come back, and they'll do the same.
And
for
make
them.
sure they know the assignment.
Boom, that's it.
the hammer.
The Distinguished Authors Guild is coming up in November.
Yes.
Talk about it real quick.
November 10th, get ready. Everything that glitters is gold. So come out, men, come out in your suits. Women, come out in your gold evening gowns. It's going to be a night to remember. And authors, the registration has been extended until June 16th. I believe that's next Sunday or Sunday coming up. But June 16th. So you still have an opportunity to submit your books. So get your books in there. There's going to be lots and lots of eyes on those books. So there's an opportunity to get your books out to thousands and thousands of viewers, which gives you another audience that you would not have been able to reach. So come on out. We're getting ready to get ticket sales out real soon. Support. Everyone asked for me to bring it back to the area. We're back. So everybody can come out and enjoy an elegant evening.
You know what, Gina? I don't think people understand the magnitude of what you've done with this Distinguished Authors Guild. People say because it's Gina, because she's from GI, we know her, that it's a local thing. It isn't a local thing. You got books coming from all over. And thing is, and you guys got to think about this, those authors that are watching and those other people. You wrote a book. What's next? All right. How difficult is it going to be for you to promote that book so people can buy that book? The Distinguished Author Guild not only gives you an opportunity to network with a lot of people, but you have an opportunity to become and put on your resume an award-winning author. All right, there's not, and I haven't found one yet, another award show that's celebrating authors, strictly celebrating authors. You got the Academy Awards and this and that. Okay, they go through a whole litany of different things. Best actor, best part scene. Stuff like that. They had a whole bunch of different litany of things. This is strictly pertaining to books and authors, and you have an opportunity to network and to again have your name listed as an award. When you start promoting your book, now you're an award-winning author as opposed to being just an author. Here go my book. No, you're an award-winning author.
That's all dry.
Now you can put. I'm just saying that's an extra. Do y'all agree? It's an extra push for your book.
It is. And we don't. One thing about it, it's a community. We don't stop promoting. We still have authors from years back that still come on the show and talk about their books or even what they're doing. It's not even always books. Whatever they're doing, we still connect them with different people and different organizations so they can move forward with the things that they're trying to do. I can proudly say there are so many authors that have gone a step up because of the Distinguished Authors Guild. Authors that are now writing magazines, authors that have been able to sell thousands of books to fraternities, to school systems. It's just so much now that they're doing
workshops to help others.
Workshops, yes. Even some that are publishing, editing, doing illustration.
They're creating movies off of their books.
So much.
They're creating movies.
It's not just a one and done. It's a community that we're building. And not only that, but we have the scholarships to help younger writers to finish their education so they can write more books.
So why wouldn't you want to become a part of the Distinguished Authors Guild? All right, it's not just an award show; it's the Distinguished Authors Guild. All right, I don't know what guild is, but you know, it's that. All right, and it's going to be
prestige.
It's going to be an opportunity this time. It's been in Vegas. It's going to be at near home, and it's a big stage. And there's a Price is Right. Come on down, get your award. All right.
Theater 47. That's what we're going to be. Many people in this area know about Theater 47. So
everybody around in the
beautiful
Midwest.
venue. It's and again, we're promoting a Black establishment because they have had so many plays that have been very, very successful there.
Shout out to
John Ruffin.
No, Mike Green for giving us the subject for tonight. Shout out to John Ruffin. Sorry, all right. And
definitely John Ruffin.
It's home, y'all. It's home, y'all. We got to get it, okay? I'll be in jeans because I'm gonna be working, but
You'd be in jeans anyway.
No. If I didn't have to work, I'd be there. Redirect, regroup, refocus. You come here with the last yeah, that's it for tonight, y'all. That's it for tonight.
Love you too.
Again, man, we have to let's just support. Let's support one another. We support you, Jeff. We support you, Jeff.
Yes.
Jeffy.
He's doing big things. I love what our little brother's doing. That's our little brother, y'all.
Jeffy. We can call him Jeffy.
He's doing great.
No, Jeffy is that dude. Jeffy was the little dude in that movie where all of the special ed kids was doing the Olympics.
I thought Jeffy was the butler in Bel Air.
No, it's Jeffrey.
It's
Jeffrey. Jeffy was the guy that was trying to be in it. He was faking like he was a.
No, Gina was the one in that school you just talked about. For the special people.
Marcy, on that note, let's get out of here. Dope Living TV Live. We'll see you guys tomorrow. All right. Peace.
Adios.